characters to a win in Ascension, playing some of those aggressive Valorant you could think, double duelist, Clove, stuff that you normally consider as ranked, but put together in such a way that no one could shut that down. And now they get to try and show it in Tier 1, but with the twist of having to bring in 2 substitutes and make changes to their roster, on top of big changes to the game as a whole.
Yeah, so a lot of things they're going to have to work through on the other side of things. Evil Geniuses completely revamped themselves, overhauling, coming into this map. We're kicking things off here on Abyss between Evil Geniuses and Envy, and already Envy have ideas towards that A side.
Yeah, but pretty quick down mid from EG. We'll get the Veto embedded, have a teleport to get him out.
Interestingly for Envy, this is a very shallow wall over towards A. Doesn't give them a lot of space to work with, but they can call out behind that wall. First shots don't determine much of anything, although Evil Geniuses have already brought 3 players to the party.
There's a really good undercut, meant no utility to stall out, so it'll be a full retake for EG, but they still hold on to Heaven control.
How do Evil Geniuses and Envy navigate around this wall? Right now, Envy have 4 players into backside as this flank starts to activate from EG.
But once they see that flank, Envy will want to fight into CT.
Opening shots go EG's way, quickly traded on back, and now that flank of 2 players coming in quickly. Evil Geniuses stuck behind this wall for now. Now it's really paying off. Only way through is with a flash and a nice shot. Still some time to work with, and Evil Geniuses clean things up here on the retake to take the first round.
Good start for Bao, gets 3 on that one. And the timing works out quite well for EG. Envy fight first, making the decision to go towards CT, and that was very successful. But Envy was fully committed to that CT fight, and with 1 smoke up mid-site, EG had an incredibly powerful position for Bao to watch both these angles as his teammates put so much pressure with that defuse coming in.
Yeah, a lot of the time Bao was just holding lines for his teammates, and the second someone comes into his crosshair, it's an instant kill.
But that fast rotate was possible because both of these get-out-of-jail-free card characters with the Veto and the Yoru had walked early into mid. That double TP will be something to watch of what aggressive positions they can get into and then escape from.
We're going to be watching Bao in particular on the Veto. Came in late last year, so haven't had a chance to see it on the Americas stage so far.
Interesting buy. Kesnet full armor Stinger. No one else investing.
Shield already primed, and now with Egster and the rest of the team falling, Kesnet could only get 1 kill with that forced buy. Evil Geniuses cruise on through the second.
Easy hold on B for them. And I think the big thing to watch for Envy is how does Kesnet fit into this roster? Obviously, he's one of the most experienced players in VCT Americas, in Valorant as a whole. Made every champs up until last year, but he was always wearing a crew jersey.
Yeah.
This is the first time in so long that we'll ever see him playing for another team.
And that's a whole obstacle in itself because he's always been such a unique player in the duelist role. Like, oh, he's had experience calling on teams before. He's also the lurking duelist that you know and love in the past. He's tried to reinvent himself in recent memory, but now in a new system, it's a very different deal.
To me, Envy was defined by the synergy between Egster and Kainzera and how they entered and played that aggressive double duelist together. Now they're going to have to rework that synergy with a brand new player.
See what they can do now with a buy. Taking things a little bit slower, but continuing to throw this Viper wall towards A. As we have a slow round, I want to dig into it a little bit because it gives Envy some opportunities to step out into the space and maybe try to remove some of those more comfortable close positions that EG would normally like to play.
It also helps you to feel a little bit safer in conditioning utility towards mid. You see the Viper Orb is in that direction. They throw 1 mid smoke that way, and suddenly mid is a big problem for Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, he could lurk out behind it. 4 players could walk behind it and pull it down, and all of a sudden, one side anchor is looking at a whole lot of players. Right now, that anchor is Bao. Over on the left-hand side of site, but keep your eyes on the lurk coming in. Inspire has made it all the way through mid, waiting for his moment, delivers onto Kong. And now with Bao and Digis in, holding it down, Evil Geniuses aren't out of it just yet. As a matter of fact, Envy have nowhere really left to go. The spike is up here on site, desperately calling forward reinforcements. And as those shots do not find their mark, and Oki and Digis in continue to get theirs, Evil Geniuses will take another round of 4 alive.
Very well controlled for EG. They held on to backside control that entire time and picked great timings to fight forward. Look at that stun coming in from the breach.
Nice shot too.
Yeah, a really unorthodox pick on this map. It you were reading the patch notes, you'll note there was a little bug, right? That wider stun, slightly faster flash timings, but not huge changes. However, I think that Breach is just so impactful, using that util to refight the front of A.
Importantly, those changes make Breach a little bit more reliable than he's been, and that's always been the weakness. So you put a good player behind that, and you can absolutely fry.
Pros could almost 100% of the time turn his flash before the changes. You still can turn it after, but it's a bit harder.
And with the delay, the nerfs to the stun duration, a lot of people could run outside of it. Now with that extra width, becomes a little bit stronger.
Especially in a complicated fight like that one.
Man, Pistol's not going to stand a chance against Digizin.
Off Outlaw, this guy just wants to buy a scope.
Yeah, it was last year when Digizin was playing up with Loud, where it was his operator that was massively feared, and continuing to prove his proficiency on the scoped weaponry here.
Hasn't shot down, and EG will hold on to this anti-eco quite well. And it's a very interesting story for Digizin. This is the second time where he's been sent on the loop of play for a tier 1 team in Americas. He performs great individually, but doesn't quite go his way in terms of the team's performance, and he then has to go back to Brazil, grind it out in tier 2 before getting a second chance. And now this is the second time that's happened, but this time his stint in tier 2 was so good, and Envy will have to be familiar with him. He was the highest rated player, bar none, in America's Ascension, the tournament that Envy won to make it here.
It's a fun situation, because Envy, of course, had to prove themselves as a team to qualify, but you also have so many players that aren't on Ascension winning rosters that are just fighting for individual spots, and for someone like Digizin, just having that half year to be able to do it, improve so much is massive.
But who would have thought it would be EG, the jersey he'd be wearing? I don't think many.
Little geniuses, of course, who went through major changes last year as well, with Ye and Icy in the roster, now rebuilding a very different story, but looking phenomenal so far.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been a series of long shots for Potter, waiting to see if she can find the one that sticks. Maybe it'll be this year.
Bao goes ahead and evolves right at the start of the round. That's a nice shot from Supa.
I think that was just spammed through the smoke onto Inspire. That is a lovely start for EG.
There are still 2 players behind this, and we have a lot of space up into mid. Still have to break that one player, though. As Supa slips on back towards spawn, allows a few players to cross. He knows there's bodies in here, and he fills in right behind them, taking a good timing, but shooting at clones. Those ghosts end up biting him right in the behind as Bao falls as well. Envy have full control of this B site.
And Oki falls as well on the rotate. This is a very good position for Envy. DG could have a timing.
At the same time as he falls, I was going to say Com starting to activate on a flank, but now in the 1-on-3. And you sort of know Com's motto. So they go ahead and double swing him. Poppin will take that kill, and Envy are going to get their first round on the VCT Americas stage.
They've been conditioning that wall towards A pretty much every round for Envy. And like we talked about previous, it means that they always have an orb and an extra smoke available to help out in this mid-fight. They've shown kind of feints in that direction earlier rounds. Now they finally activate it, explode mid-control, and find success getting back into B for their first round win in Americas.
So now Envy, after taking that round, have 2 major ultimates on their duelist to play off of a Bucky in Exter's hands.
But now they've got to deal with DG's his first op in hand, and he's looking to contain mid.
Yeah, that op can sometimes be hard to work with when there's a Yor ult on the other side, so often used to just overwhelm a site. Right now, Envy haven't really given any opportunities for Digizin to go for the fight, just a fake teleport up in top mid.
But he'll just repost on that line. Knows that mid is still clear.
Yeah, and a drone in A main sees nothing, so Evil Genius is going to be aware. The B hit is online. Bao sort of digs in his heels backside, but that Bucky is going to be a problem. Exter, how does he choose to play this one? Jumping on forward and just sits right behind enemy lines. They're not looking the right direction. Someone turn around. That was absolutely no idea until he realizes Exter's behind him already.
That was ridiculous.
And yet, the spike is still planted. Envy are down a player, but now they have a Hunter's Fury online too.
And they have a late lurk coming mid.
Now Digizin scouting things out with a dimensional drift of his own. Evil Geniuses have guns behind it too. This lurk might not be quickly enough for Envy. Not unless Rossi's able to hold it down. There's not even a lurk coming in now. As that player falls on the other side, it is clockwork. Out from EG. That round completely falling apart after Exter just got caught out. Looking the wrong way.
I'd love to see that from Exeter's POV. That was a very weird interaction.
Yeah.
They were just back to back, walking into each other.
Exactly. Bao actually walks all the way behind him.
Yeah, but look at these shots from Bao. I've been pretty impressive in these first few rounds. I think one of the maybe a little underrated players coming out of Tier 2 in 2025. He didn't get an opportunity to play in Ascension. Things didn't quite go his way with SAT Esports, but I think even in that endeavor not being super successful, he was always incredibly impressive as an individual. And just waiting for that opportunity. He's shining here, 9-1 to start his journey in America.
Yeah, you talk about seizing the moment, taking one of those opportunities, starting off a game like this with a new team, here for the first match as well, and debuting the veto for Americas here in LA. But now Envy, they're down 1-5, right? They call a timeout for themselves. They need to make some adjustments. Mimi, I want to know where your head would be at if you are Envy, trying to switch things up here on the attack side.
I think where they've been losing most of these rounds has been in the late round. EG has been basically always holding on to full backside control and then refighting in as Envy is going for these executes. I really like the round where they did put more of an emphasis on mid control. And I'd like to see them slow these rounds down a little bit, continue to take that kind of space. And I think when they're executing, I'd like to see them saving utility to be able to fight into backside and be ready for where EG is holding. Because they're really not contesting forward in most of these anchoring positions.
Yeah, or it would be the one guy, Eggster, up on his own.
Exactly.
Didn't go well last round. Now, if they do take things a little bit more slowly, that's where Digizin's operator could be a little bit more of a problem. And you talk about an up in Poppin's hands as well on the Sova, looking to play off-site in the post plant with that Hunter's Fury.
You see EG thinks they're going to put more of an emphasis on mid. 3 players stacked there, but B looks to be the destination. Everyone ready in main.
Well, they spot out Bao, but still good luck getting past him. A quick teleport away, and this Hunter's Fury comes in early. That stun out from heaven does slow things down, but Envy are surely going to get the plant anyways.
So it's a 5-on-5 retake. How did Envy play this post plant? They have Exer in a forward position, and I think he's the man this round.
And they chuck the spike to Inspire to get the Viper's pit online as well. That forward fight is here, as now the pit will fall down as well. 3 players of Evil Geniuses approaching on the flank through mid.
Poppin has to hold this. He has an AWP in his hands, but he's already down 1-for-1.
1-for-1's all right. Had already used the Hunter's Fury. How does this go for Evil Geniuses? They have to get through this pit somehow, but they're so separated. 2 players all on their own. Digizin strikes first, and now Okeanos entering the site himself. Okeanos lethal in that, but Inspire will fall too. And EG take another.
And that's a great example of what happens when you don't hold on to mid control. Immediately, when EG realized that was a full hit on B, they fell back, played retake, and because they had mid the entire time, they were incredibly fast in pushing through a flank and pinching the site, so the Viper's pit was basically useless.
So in a way, yes, Envy, they fight forward like we were hoping to see out of them, but Evil Geniuses have the right call, whether that's in the moment or expecting Envy to try and play up a little more.
Oh my God!
2 very different attitudes in the coaching booth as well, and the scoreboard reflects it.
We're talking about this comp bringing the breach in for EG. One of the big strengths is your power ult. Rolling Thunder, Hunter's Fury, those are the tools that they'll have for a retake if they need it.
Yeah, they'll see if they can get out of this round without using too much. Envy are forced onto a bit of a half buy. Hero Rifle in Kesnet's hands, and Bao continues to be an issue. Teleport up into heaven. And for Evil Geniuses, it has just been a lot of these full B retake setups. This time, though, without Bao.
Yeah, that makes it a bit more difficult. Eggster as well, forward again. This time they do have a mid lurk, so flank won't be a factor.
It's a sheriff for Inspire, and that's all he needs. Nice kill, and instantly dips away. So a 3-on-5 now. 2 ultimates for Evil Geniuses. How much do they want this round? Oki wants it, that's for sure. 1 kill for him, and now the Rolling Thunder was primed, but not committed to. As it becomes a 3-on-3, repositions to send it into main, but keep your eyes on Rossi. On site, ratting it out inside of the smoke. He goes down, so does Poppin. While Envy had the numbers, they did not have the guns and did not have the fights on EG.
Look at Oki standing up, giving it to him.
And that reminds you of exactly what he looked like on that stage when he debuted last year. Okeanos, one of the loudest players you're going to see up there.
Yeah, EG is a new roster, but in a lot of ways, it's kind of a Leviathan 2025 V2. They've taken Comp, who's on that team. They've taken Oki, who is on that team. And they've also yoinked the assistant coach of Lev and brought him over. So a lot of those pieces sticking around on this 2026 EG.
Trying to build on some pre-existing synergies in a year where there are so many changes being made is important.
Yeah. Envy's starting to run out of chances now. The issue has continued to be these retakes for EG that have been so successful.
Well, Envy guessed the right side this round. Evil Geniuses were feigning some kind of B main aggression. It's allowed Envy to sneak up into Heaven. Evil Geniuses will have to solve the Heaven problem first because they don't have a flank, because there is this very forward spot from Envy. That lurk through mid too. It's going to be challenging for EG. Didge is in, leading the fray, trying to set up a little bit for this Hunter Fury. Let's see if those connect. Bao certainly well. And now popping out of that with the shorty, Extra just wheels around on him. Gets 3 kills into the round, stepping up when his team needs him. But it may not be enough just yet. As Bao drops into Heaven, Calm now stuck in an unenviable 1v3. He's on out of there.
So impressive from Egster. If you watched America's Ascension or Challengers, those are the rounds you were seeing so many times. This guy literally only played Yoru. All time in his career, every game in any team he has ever played, he has a 96% pick rate on Yoru. It's ridiculous. And,
unbelievable.
I mean, he's a master at it. You saw there, he was completely ready for it. DG Zin getting quirky with the shotgun out of the ultimate.
I sure hope they don't nerf Yoru.
Yeah. Bad news for Envy stocks if they do.
And yet they did just get their second round of the game. Now, see if they can build off of that at all. That last round didn't run into really any resistance over towards the A side. But it was that forward play from Egster that paid off massively for the team. Didge is in, waiting on the other side of this with an operator, but just a flash on through to secure the dimensional drift on Egster. And as it comes in, nobody's home.
TG stays posted forward on A, but Envy this time after working the map, getting that ult, they'll leave her mid in bed and look to go back towards B.
Yeah, the dimensional drift is just way too solved. I think Envy can just get that up, go on for the hit. Bao looks for a shot and will secure it. Hold on. Has some support too, and with a quick teleport away, double dives on out. It's 4-on-4 for this post plant.
How do they get back in though? Envy again fighting forward. These players deep need to find success. It comes down to Poppin and Egster.
Bao already primed the evolution. That's a nice shot from him, lining him up. 3 on the round now. The new kid on the block. Held up in Heaven as the rest of his teammates start to move on forward. Egster is down and Bao with 4. Gets another for EG.
He's just been unbeatable on this site. Stuck around as he was getting droned out by the Yoru ult. Gets a kill looking forward. Chains his TPs together to get out and then just keeps it going. Here's that first kill.
Yeah, I love that he's stepping in there with the fault line, even being under that pressure of the dimensional drift. Still wants the fight before he teleports away.
But Bao, you are him, bro.
Bit of hype coming out of Oki for his new teammate. And I think that the way that EG is playing these retakes shows that they were very well prepared for how Envy likes to play. This is a team that always fights up, always goes aggressive in their post plants. And so their approach is keep the Yoru or the Vito in the site, get a kill, get out, and then you play full retake using your utility for deep positions to flush out the Envy players.
Seems like a winning formula so far. Bao once again boosted on this box. Waiting, and this time goes down, so a little bit more simple for Envy to play in this post plant. Kesnet tries to kidnap someone. Who's it going to be? Didge is in on the other side, and that's, oh no, it's a clone!
Wait, Oki's gotten 3 through that.
Unbelievable. From bad to worse. Envy didn't even plant the spike, and that's the real one. That's who you're hoping to grab.
That's just heartbreaking. Inspire's only got a classic, and he's dead too.
Ridiculous. Anything that could go right for EG is going right. Can do no wrong so far in this game, sitting 9-2.
And here are those Okeanos kills, just charging through the smoke. Sure, it's an anti-eco, but the shots are still nice.
It is done. Come on!
And what's tough is that after that opener from Kesnet, they felt like it was doable. Invest ultimates into that round. Only for it to slip away yet again.
So Kesnitz, who's been going for those hero buys even on the ecos, down to a stinger. For the last round of the half, Calm playing here just for some spam lineup. trying to dominate that box, but quickly, Envy trying to capitalize on the back of that one. Hunter's Fury on the other side. Cobb still gets one. As Supa will fall to the Hunter's Fury. Envy again with numbers, but where do they go from here?
Oki has a powerful position in heaven. Could spam on through, but the plant, it will get down safely. So another set, retake with the spray!
And that's the Rolling Thunder, needed that kill to unlock it. Okeanos trying to dive on in here, capitalize for EG. 10-2 goes this first half, absolute dominance.
How many rounds does Envy lose a player in their post plant, try and fight forward, and swing directly into Jujazin's op? Ever since he got that weapon online, he was dominating. 15-2 for the Brazilian duelist in his America's re-debut.
Just stellar stuff. Even the last kill before the flash comes online. Jujazin and Bao currently sitting at 30 kills to 7 deaths combined. It's disgusting. And there's a little bit more after the break. Well, there's no other way to put it than that was an outstanding half for Evil Geniuses. Actually, I think there are a few other ways I could have put it, but I chose to go with that 10-2 up against the new squad.
Defense.
Yeah, that was the one thing I didn't want to say.
And generally on this map, you don't win much on defense, so
yeah.
A bit of a rough start for our new Ascension squad. And, you know, I can't help but think a little bit about our previous Ascension teams. 2G, same thing, comes in with a lot of hype, had such a great run in Ascension, and then it's sub players to start the season as it doesn't quite go their way. Bit of a different circumstance for Envy, of course, with it being that 2 of their players too young to play instead of just that 1. But still, how can they bring this back? How can they make something happen here?
And it is also Envy bringing in some veterans, right? The power of Kesnet didn't really get to see that come online into the first half. Hopefully we can see, though, on the defense side of things, Envy find their groove here, at least early on. But that's going to come with some ask. And the ask is, how do we stop Digizin and Bao from doing what they did in the first half? It's going to start with a little bit of aggression into A main, which is instantly canceled out by a well-placed fault line.
Yeah, the breach is so good for countering that kind of aggression. The line control into mains is powerful no matter what map.
Check this out. Quick teleport into mid. 3 players from Evil Geniuses just swarming, and a double teleport from Bao to get up there right behind his teammate. Same time, Rossi is just carving up the A site. This pistol round, well, it was all the bells and whistles. Oh, it was so exciting from Evil Geniuses. Envy just beat them with guns.
They wanted the Envy way, which is exactly what they needed. Build the confidence back up. You see a smile slipping across Exeter's face as he gets 3 defending towards CT. It's okay. A simple round to start. That's how you build these things up.
They're just running straight through the one way, and even a long range. Rossi lining up those classic hits. Now I do want to check and see. I believe Exeter may have grabbed a bandit as his secondary. He had it for a second. Might be our first look at it here in Americas, and it doesn't really matter what he has as a secondary if he's just getting kills with the primary. That'll be the first one for him as Rossi and the rest of the crew just keep on flying through. He's got 5 kills already for Rossi in this second half, already off to a much better start.
Yeah, very aggressive for Envy. Full push through.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
That's
Don't
tough.
give him an alt orb. And lock up. A 4th round for Envy. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Of course, playing a no Senti comp. I think EG showing us that pistol with the double TP into mid might become a bit of a theme, especially when they themselves are playing the single smokes.
Suddenly went from 2 to 7 kills.
True. But
how did that happen?
Yeah, you get 5. Turns out that's how math works. But when you're playing solo smokes, you kind of need a teleport agent to help you take mid control, because you can't just double smoke at the start of every round. So we'll see if EG wants to put an emphasis on that a bit later. As this round, we'll start with a bit of an A default. Actually take control of that space, at least for now. Envy might consider a refight with 3 here.
Yeah, we'll see. Envy not having any flashes to really work with over here, apart from a paranoia, makes it a little bit less encouraging to go for that fight. So instead, using the drone, keeping things a little quieter over here. Just 3 players behind it. They do see Digizin was starting to fall away, so that's going to signal some rotations already from Kesnet back in spawn.
but no one directly holding on to mid control for Envy. Instead, just playing deeper, kind of containing on timings as you see the Omen rotating all the way back towards spawn.
EG just gearing up for an A-pop, and Envy have exactly the right read on this situation.
Hard execs are very potent with this composition. The breach certainly helps with that. Can suffer these crossfires just a bit more.
I believe there's a Viper's Orb on site as well as a wall for Envy to try and play around. A lot of confusion they can try to create, especially as now Rossi enters the picture. Eggster down, but still 3 players waiting to receive as Inspire sneaks up and uses the orb to boost up top site, seeing right over his wall. That's some nice movement out of him. Unfortunately, falls straight to his death, and the rest of his team was just not ready for the fight. Rossi goes down without any other support. It's just a little bit disjointed on the return, and EG will take the round.
That one kill was pivotal. When your first anchor falls so early there, as Eggster went down here from a nasty shot out of Digizin. Suddenly that flood is so much harder to make work. EG had already scaled quite close to that wall before that pop fully came in. And they were able to cut down those flooding players before they even got a chance to group up whatsoever.
It's unfortunate too, because I liked the tech Inspire was using. The wall through half sight, knowing his angles to play up and around it.
Yeah, last year in Americas, most teams were playing the Astra Omen if they double smoked on this map. Viper a bit less common, even though it does get some play.
Digizin moves away from the view, and Evil Geniuses get ready to walk back up into A main. But again, it's fairly passive on A main from Envy. Again, starting to shift back towards B. Wonder what the idea is going to be for them to play with on this A retake, if it ends up going that way.
They just want a bit of a re-clear in mid, make sure no one lurked up that way. Not fast rotates into A. They do hear more.
Calm even thought about challenging the angle, ends up stepping on back. Down under a minute on this clock as some footsteps are heard from the clone. That sends Poppin sailing on backwards, who does have a dart to play with. If he wants to fire out that recon as the hit comes in. Some opportunities to spam out from heaven.
But Envy has gambled the wrong side. They'll only have 2 players here. Support is far.
That's the thing, though, is they brought those 2 players back. Earlier, they were not playing this site. Now they have some opportunities. A Paranoia comes out. That recon as well. These players are spotted, but the flash hits them. Poppin falls away as Rossi takes the kill. Now less than 30 seconds. Evil Geniuses trying to fight into backside. Spike plant under a little bit of pressure. Some utility, timing that one out as the swing comes in. Kesnick gets the first, primes another shield, goes down through the flash, and now just 10 seconds left. It's starting to be a little bit of a mess. Inspire charging on forward as the spike goes down, but there's too many left to deal with. Envy take their 5th.
You saw that flood retake fail in round 15 with Envy getting cut down 1 at a time. But a round like that is exactly the goal of how they play. Leave 2 anchors on the site who are very willing to proactively fight and just get that bit more time as the rest of the team just fearlessly charges back in. Look at Kesnet, shield up, not a care. Even though he dies, he gets time for the rest of his team to set up for better positions on that retake.
And now Evil Geniuses not going for much of a hero. I think Digizin's going to buy something, a little something here with the opportunity for a dimensional drift, but setting Envy up to start to build onto their economy. They've got the operator in Eggster's hands as well. This could be the start of something if they keep it clean in these next couple rounds.
Still a big if. EG put more of an attention on mid. They showed something similar in the pistol round. Looks like they could go for one of those double TPs again, try and blow up this part of the map.
Here's that teleport. This time, though, Digizin not asking for too much more support behind it. Just has Supa guarding his back, and as Digizin steps into that smoke, that's the hero rifle gone. And what should be EG's chances into the round, Rossi chooses to teleport over from the other side of the map, support this B site, and just say, this door is closed over on B. EG realizing that are not even going to challenge it.
No, they left our Astra in mid. They want to call back towards the A side of the map. Leaving an embed here. They could even go back B late. They're really taking their time with this eco round.
Yeah, EG are kind of throwing out the fishing line here and seeing if anything bites on a round like this. If Bao could find someone, if Envy get a little over eager, if there's someone playing up in A main they could take down. But now as Bao is gone, So is the chance of a good catch. It's got to be over towards this A site now for Evil Geniuses. Left. And again, they are really working on the clock. Poppin is out here alone. This seems ill-advisable. It's a 1-for-1, still Envy with the numbers, as Kesnet also is isolated. And now Envy have given away a pretty large advantage. Only one gun picked up from comp, but there are 2 ultimates online.
And these EG players are so separated.
Envy are all on their own too. It's 1v1s across the board.
Player standing.
Okeanos now, without a rifle himself, stepping right back into that flank, and Rossi will finish off the round. So got a little bit hairy for a moment, but Envy still take the round.
The way Envy played that was scary to me. In the 3-on-2 anti-eco, Rossi's jumping out onto site pretty much alone. He dies there. Could have been a very different round, but it isn't today, and that's how this team likes to play. They're willing to take those big risks to make the individual plays take that time. It was so successful for them in Tier 2.
Nice! Nice, Rossi.
So, Envy head into this next round, and this round is the big one for them. Obviously trailing by 5, but look at the ultimates on EG's side. Envy need to come up with an answer, and you can't help but feel like it's going to be off the back of Eggster. Top performer for Envy so far, has the operator and the dimensional drift himself.
I do like this approach. They gamble 4A. If it's a B hit, they'll just full retake with dimensional drift.
We've already seen how Inspire can work that B site behind his smoke. If he can just get 1-2 kills, set his team up, that would be everything. Now a teleport up into mid. Dudge is in. Sees absolutely nothing so far. It will be Inspire, whose feet might have just been seen there. I think Dudge sees that. Maybe not. It's a little bit of a mess. Inspire in and out and around the smoke. That'll be a kill for him. And still chooses to play on site. He is digging in firmly as the rest of Envy approaches. Operator now peering out of heaven. Inspire above them all, takes his shot, takes his time, and again he falls for 3 for 4! He's a monster! And wants a little bit more. Where is Calm hiding? Rossi trying to lay down the gold carpet for him. Inspire falls, but Envy take the round nonetheless.
That was a masterclass from Inspire. Anchoring on the B site. It's not common you see Viper get a lot of play on this map, but you can see just how many angles this setup gives you. He can jump up top, dive down on either side.
Oh, window.
And that's all he's got to give. A little bit of...
You sit down!
I love the turn of emotion. Oh man, window. Wait, I gotta talk my game.
That's awesome. What an evolution throughout 10 seconds. One of the problems with EG's comp into a setup like that is Breach as an initiator really excels at just taking a site when there's not a lot of smokes, things like that, because he can only flash off of walls. You think about someone like Sky, like KO, you can flash anywhere you pretty much want to take it. But with that agent, you lose that flexibility, and one wall going up. You saw there that the flashes for Oki were completely blocked by the Viper wall and never affected that anchor.
Yeah, and when Inspire can pop out of any one of those smokes from so many different angles as well, all of a sudden you can't hold all those angles. Even if you know he's somewhere inside of it, it becomes really hard to cross your T's, dot your I's, especially when you're under a time crunch to plant that spike while the rotates are coming in to fight you.
And I don't think it's necessarily time yet to bring up that it was 10-2 and that it's 11-7 now.
And yet you did. Explain yourself.
I'm just thinking
Explain yourself.
I'm just thinking about some EG games in the past. That's all. I won't say anything more yet.
I don't like where your head's at. Mimi, I don't like where your head's at. I also don't like where EG's economy is at right now. Even if they have those ults. I also don't like that Envy won that round without Eggster needing to get some op kills, without needing to use that ultimate either.
EG didn't use 2 of their ults, so that's good for them.
Sets up for another critical swing round after this if Envy can hold down the fort. EG trying to do battle with numbers here and succeed in forcing one duelist off the line. Kesnet doesn't really care though, he's still taking shots. Calm is down to 20 HP as a matter of fact.
Envy not being too welcoming in the doorway of A. They shoot them away for the first 40 seconds, but EG, steadfast. They will make this A exec happen, for better or for worse.
That's what options they have. A couple of stars from Supa. Would they ever put down the divide? I'm not so sure. here on the Eco. They only need 2 more round wins, so really, unless things are starting to look very good for Evil Geniuses, might need a more conservative approach as that stun comes down a little bit too late. And now a Hunter's Fury sent from Calm back in main. Poppin shooting out some of his own utility from heaven. Now the drop comes in, and Kesnet wipes the floor with him, so that ultimate pays off in absolutely no manner whatsoever, and Envy are within 3.
I really don't like EG using an ult there. I think when you're up this big, you only need 1-2 rounds, something like that. The goal should always be to build 3-4 of your power ults into 1 round, then you can basically guarantee you're winning. They took a risk, it didn't pay off, and now their tools are just a bit weaker going into this next round.
Yeah, some small timing things as well there. I think the one-way disappeared with 1 second between the fault line coming down too, so that allows the shot to come in from Eggster. Need to tighten things up a little bit for Evil Geniuses, who have really struggled here on the attack side.
So what do EG do? Eggster will post the op in mid.
EG want this mid fight, have 5 players ready for it.
That same TP primed, but a player watching it.
Oh, hold on, Digizin teleports forward. Kesnet just mowed down. What on earth just happened? This round started and ended in the blink of an eye.
Somehow, DG gets that kill on the teleport. That turns everyone's head to look at him. And in that exact timing, Bao swings out and just feasts.
Yeah, Bao had taken advantage of that quicker walk up, using the new halls up into mid, just playing on the other side of Bookcase. Absolutely carves Envy there.
And suddenly it goes from it feeling so good from the momentum building to a nightmare scenario for Envy where they're losing round 20, staring down the face of 12, and EG didn't have to use any of those key ults that we keep talking about.
That sets them up beautifully. You talk about saving a few ultimates to just confirm a series, or a map win rather. Once you reach up onto 12, Evil Genius is going to be in that exact position following this one. Yet that mid fight, maybe not so easy just to replicate, so Evil Geniuses aren't out of the woodworks just yet. Calm goes jumping around there. Secure that round and put Evil Geniuses on map point.
There's always very obvious ways where the game changes with patches and things like that, but in the last couple of years, I think one of the subtle things is how much pro players abuse jumping around corners.
Oh my God, bro! If I'm gonna play for stats where my next team can pick me up, I'm gonna do the same shit.
That's crazy.
I think we should just leave Oki's mic open the whole game.
Just let it be a hot mic.
Yeah, just let him do it. Unbelievable. Well, Envy feeling the sting just a little bit. Need 4 rounds here, tie things up. And it's going to be Poppin tasked with the operator duty back in mid right now. Of all things, Extra wanted to handle the rifle work in this round.
Bao posts up in mid, a TP to get him out. And that interceptor as well will completely hold off any re-clear attempts with a drone or a dart.
This A side is really light from Envy. Rossi just needs to find something here and fall away. Doesn't even challenge onto the angle. Instead, falling away. Knowing there's a rolling thunder on the other side of that Cosmic Divide. Poppin's out on the ledge. Thought he could play with something with the op of all things. And yet can't quite get that shot down. And now the kidnap. That's the planter. That's Calm. Picked up by Kesnet. Kesnet, what have you got? He's got Calm. And now Envy could take their time on the retake, but with Poppin falling, things start to equalize. Inspire takes down Bao in mid. Now without that lurk coming in, EG need to fight forward, but that goes horribly wrong as well. And now Eggster getting full information over the site, sees exactly where these players are. Digizin is down, and Envy stay alive.
Some key parts of that round. I think number 1 is flushing the lurk in mid. Envy were aware that Bao was there. They get a pick on him before he can become a problem whatsoever. And the second is that Envy was willing to just play full retake that round. I think that's absolutely the right call. If they try to hard anchor against these ultimates,
Bang!
could have gone pretty forward.
Let's go.
I don't think he's playing today.
We'll check in with him later, maybe.
Yeah.
See what's up there. Now, Evil Geniuses still have some opportunities left, but it's just 2 rifles for them in this round. Really strange buy. See what they can do with their heavy hitters here, and Digizin and Bao, who completely dominated in that first half. Hasn't quite been the same story here on the attacking side, but maybe with them working up into mid and B respectively, they can get something done.
Cutting through.
More of a spread default for EG this time.
Fake teleport.
Poppin still holding on to that operator, still liking that angle and going for the reswing. Maybe a little bit ill-advised. Now Envy without any way to gather mid-round info.
That makes things a lot more difficult. They decide to just split it 2-2. Just play contain on mid control. So EG, if they group for an exec, either side here will be at an advantage, despite the worst guns.
Drone onto A, pulls out one smoke from Rossi. Evil Genius is just waiting to get back over towards B. Eggster has some smokes to play around. Let's see if he can channel some of the magic we got out of Inspire. He can't do anything, and Inspire might just be a little bit too late. Now into the site, really trying to hold things down. A pit out from him, and he jumps up as well. Not again, not from this position. Inspire sees that player, but I think he was seen on the other side. Dujazun takes him down. And this game might just be over. Not unless Rossi can do something here. Pulls away from the shorty now in a 1-on-4. Make it 1-on-3. Rossi still getting it done, needs the ace. But he goes down for a thrifty. EG take the first map of 2026.
There's a dominant start to this map. 10-2 in the first half. Started to slip. Envy got their legs under them. But they can't quite close out the comeback. Big takeaways from that first map are really just Bao and Dujazin. Those
monsters.
Two were insane on this map. DG with the op, Bao is an anchor. They are what led to that 10-2 half.
Dujazin ending that map 22-11 on the Yoru as Evil Geniuses prove they can close a map. We're stepping away, but up next, GB and the analyst desk will break down map number 1.